Deontay the Bronze Bummer Wilder.
What's up, guys? This is Uriah Faber.
What's up, guys? Stephen One Boy Thompson.
It's the IBF champion, Earl Smith Jr.
Cynthia Champion.
Hi, this is Michaela Mayer.
Montana and Mark, the De La Rosas.
This is Daniel Miracle Man Jacob. Shout out to Kendrick and Matt.
And you're listening to the Slip and Dip podcast.
And you're listening
With your boy Kendrick and Matt.
And you're listening to Kendrick and Matt on the Slip and Dip podcast.
Yeah, back at you once again, episode 39 on the Slip and Dip podcast. I am Matthew Wells. Across the room from me, as always, Kendrick Johnson, holding it down. Man, we got a packed show this week for you guys. 3 guests, all UFC fighters, all big names in the UFC. First up, we're going to have Mr. Kamaru Usman, followed by Judo Thunder coming off a huge knockout. Man, spectacular. One of the early knockout of the year candidates of Sabah Homasi. And getting ready to take on Marcin Tybura in UFC Austin coming up next month. Derrick, the Black Beast Lewis, joining us on the show. Man, packed show. Whoo, you ready for this one?
Hey, man, I've been with it all week, man, trying to get this producing on, man. It's not as easy as y'all think it is, but we make it happen. It's like 18 weeks in a row now we got a show, something like that.
I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed we will have a guest in some capacity, some shape or form. Yeah.
but thank you to Thunder and Kamaru for starting our new segment. Ballin, you get the call. Both these brothers have balled this year, so they got that call and talk about their handiwork, breaking it down to you what was going through them when they pull off the performances that they pull. They got y'all talking about them. We want to give you the winners for doing what they do.
Yeah, Kamaru clearing up the 30% as he already did, but you know he kind of divulged a little bit more info there. Judo Thunder goes into the whole knockout and what it means for him, and then of course Derrick talking about everything, all his preparation, how he's feeling.
He's gonna do officially his funniest guest.
Yeah, no doubt.
All in off the air.
No doubt. Dean Thomas is funny, but Derrick Lewis takes it to a different level. But yeah, you guys are really going to enjoy this episode. I can't wait for you guys to hear these interviews coming up. Man, so let's talk a little bit, before we get into those interviews, let's talk a little bit about what happened in the combat sports world this past weekend.
Boxing last night.
Boxing.
Batista with another spectacular knockout, trying to show everybody that he's back. The machine, as they call him. You know, I think his best days are past him. And Jorge Linares, some people think he's in the top 10 pound for pound. Very solid fighter out of Venezuela. Won a Golden Boy. Probably would be Golden Boy's second most high-profile fighter behind, of course, Saul Canelo Alvarez. And speaking of that, behind the scenes, talk to Golden Boy people. Once that fight get announced, people go and buy your tickets. It's going to be May 5th in Las Vegas. I don't know why they being funny and not announcing that, but you heard it here first. It's going to be in Las Vegas. And yours truly will be there. But one of Golden Boy's right-hand man, Eddie Gomez, said he's going to come on and tell us about the fight and stuff like that. So we're working behind the scenes to bring you the truth.
Why do boxing people like pretend like they're not going to do something on Cinco de Mayo? Like, why is that even a question anymore? Yeah, that'll be dope. I definitely look forward to that. UFC wise, UFC went to Charlotte. They put on a card there. You know, I watched the whole thing last night. We are coming to you on a Sunday afternoon. This is the earliest we've done a show.
I got Grammys and Royal Rumble to watch tonight.
Yeah, Royal Rumble. We'll talk about that in here in a second. But yeah, UFC Charlotte main event. Jacare Souza getting it done against Derrick Brunson with the head kick.
Bye, Derrick Brunson. Bye.
Boy, I tell you what, the way Jacare, like, he just controlled everything about that whole moment. I'm talking about from like the longest walkout ever in the UFC to, you know, shaking hands, kissing babies on the way down to the octagon, getting in there, and then lands the head kick, and then just stalked him super calm, like, yeah, you just ate that head kick, and then I'm gonna just walk up on you and like, how much more do you want? Wham, 2-piece. Okay, I'll give you a couple more, and then the ref stops the fight. But just the way he stalked him after that head kick, man, that was just like, oh man, like Jacare he's still got some juice left in him for sure.
I think he's
not that kind of juice, but you know what I'm saying.
He's top 5, but I don't think he's good enough to beat the league. I think his best days are past him, but you can't. He's definitely a good gatekeeper now.
Give me Jacare versus Weidman. That's what I want to see.
Oh, very good fight. Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
That definitely be a good fight.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be a good fight. But yeah, I mean, other than that though, I mean, the fight card, UFC Charlotte. I mean, the ranking, like the ratings, TV ratings came out. The TV ratings came out. Lowest rated fight night in the program's history. Not a good look. Not a good look. I mean, hey, that's what happens though. I mean, the fight card wasn't terribly exciting. The judging was absolutely atrocious throughout the fight card. I'm talking at least 2 fighters lost that should have won.
Who was that? You watch more than me. I glanced. I saw the chick fight, which was terrible. A chick couldn't even really throw a jab, and she won the fight because she threw 300 of them and landed 20.
Yeah.
I didn't see that fight. That was a waste of time.
Yeah, Justine Kish got robbed, and I believe Dennis Bermudez got robbed too. But you know, it is what it was. The judges were terrible throughout the whole night. I mean, this North Carolina judging has a little bit of a track record, so you know, we'll see. I mean, we did see it last night. Kind of unfortunate, man. Also, Drew Dober. A lot of people thought Frank Camacho won, but I thought Drew Dober won. It was a close fight, 29-28. Nobody should have had a 30-27. You just things like that, man. Throughout the whole card, it's just like, come on, man. You know, and it's unfortunate that fighters.
He won the fight, right? Drew Dober won, right?
Yeah, Drew Dober won. I thought he won 29-28.
I talked to his manager last night, trying to get him on. So we might hear it from him next week. I can't guarantee, but we're working on it.
He's got some mic skills, man. I like the way he talks on the mic. So, you know, he was very, very humble, too, after the fact. You know, he's like, hey, judges. You know, he's like, he wasn't really sure if he won the fight. So, when guys say stuff like that, that goes a long way. That goes a long way with me, you know. But we'll see, man. That'd be good to have him on, for sure. I definitely want to pick his brain about the judging because it literally takes money out of people's pockets. Literally. And it's unfortunate that a fighter can't rely on judging. When, you know, everybody says, oh, you never leave it in the hands of judges, never leave it in the hands of judges. No, that's BS, man. You got a judging system in place. The judging system should work.
Why is it BS? That's the only way to guarantee that you're going to win.
That's my thing. Like, why even have a judging system in place if you can't rely on it? You know what I mean? Like, if you have a way to go out there and win fights, like, not necessarily stopping. I mean, obviously you want to go out there and get the stoppage, but if you can't get a stoppage because styles or whatever, if you do more to win the fight, you should be rewarded at the end of the fight, not have to question and then see another guy win just because the guy doesn't know what the hell he's looking at. Yeah, so, you know, it is what it is, but Bellator had a card on this weekend too. Lorenz Larkin was in action. You know, he picked up a dub. But yeah, there wasn't really too much to take out from that Bellator card. Not too much crazy action went down there. But looking ahead, obviously, as some of our guests, Black Beast coming at you guys in Austin here in a few weeks. We got the man I'm not too hyped about seeing fighting, another young up-and-coming undefeated stud, Lyoto Machida taking on Eric Anders. This is one of those matchups, man. We talked about in the past. I mean, it's good that Machida's fighting in his home.
Right now that it's a young man's game. I tried to tell you that when we first started. And you came over like, yeah. At certain times you gotta hang it up, and he about to get exposed. Let's look at it this way. You saw Derrick Brunson last night. You saw Derrick Brunson against Machida. That's all you need to know right there.
I mean, but that was it. That was a young guy versus an old guy, and we saw what happened.
Exactly what I'm just saying. I'm talking as far as Machida personally.
Yeah.
But hell, Derrick Brunson technically was a little young guy last night and got.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not 100% track record, but I think more often than not, you know, we see the BJ Penn.
What I meant by in the Derrick Brunson is you saw what happened to him last night. You saw what happened to him against Machida. So it's more of an indictment on Machida than it is Derrick Brunson.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, it is what it is. He's headlining that card. There are some big names on that card coming up here this weekend. Yeah, this weekend on Saturday. John Dodson in the co-main event. Valentina Shevchenko in action. You know, it's a decent card. It's watchable. She fights Priscilla Chacharia. I think that's how you say her last name. She's a shadowy figure. You know how you love those shadowy figures. But they're fighting at 125, so 125 division gets some action. We got 3 shadowy figures on this card. A shadowy figure versus shadowy figure in the opening bout. But it's a watchable card for sure. You know, I'll definitely be tuning in. Tim Means, Sergio Moraes. That'll be a nice fight. You know, Thiago Santos, Anthony Smith could fight too. It'll be good, man. So, looking forward to what we got going on the rest of this evening. The Royal Rumble going down.
Matt to leave and come back, man. Matt to leave and come back.
Yeah, we're gonna be watching the Rumble, waiting for the countdowns, waiting for that 10-second timer to hit, seeing who's coming out next. Who? Give me one surprise entrant. It's got to be a surprise. You know, there's gonna be a surprise. They're gonna throw a curveball or 2. Give me one.
I've been so like the wrestling dude, I couldn't even tell you.
It don't matter. It could be anybody from the past 15 years who you think may make an appearance. You know they're gonna throw somebody crazy in there. They always do.
Think Goldberg could make a random comeback?
Oh man, I watched Goldberg 24 on the WWE Network. If you guys haven't seen it, you might want to check it out.
I'm more interested in the chick when the first ever women's one actually got my attention.
Yeah.
I wonder how Paige is going to figure, because we know she can't wrestle since her career is all done, but I think she's going to, whatchamacallit, I think she's going to find a way to figure in who wins.
I think she'll just be more of a backstage presence, you know, doing some promos.
Oh, you know they should be like ringside on the apron or something like that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if she does have any sort of role in that capacity, I'll be very surprised. The question is, for me though, is Ronda going to be in it? Ronda going to make an appearance?
Hey, I do know through sources she's been training since around Thanksgiving in Florida, 100% confirmed.
Yeah.
Does that mean she's coming out tonight? I can't put that out.
I can't think of another better spot. First Women's Royal Rumble. First time for Ronda to make an appearance. Maybe let her be in the ring for like 2 minutes before she gets tossed out.
Tossed out. They're going to her to win to get the title shot at WrestleMania.
They're not gonna push her that hard. Come on now.
And then when she, okay, I will see your face fall out that chair when she win the first Women's Royal Rumble.
Hey, if it happens, I won't hate it. I won't hate it. Honestly, I won't. But that'd be crazy if she shows up. For one, would be a shock in itself, and then if she won, yeah, that would be incredible. That would be incredible. But she's my surprise guest. I mean, my surprise guest, surprise entrant to the male side. I'm gonna throw a way curveball just for the crowd pop coming off of the Raw 25. I want to see Stone Cold hit the ring. I want to see Stone Cold hit the ring. I guess I'm got nostalgia for him because like we know what he's gonna do, and like it was cool then, but it's not cool now. It's like the game that passed him by. Of course, that's why you just get the cheap crowd pop, get a glass break, see him come down there, you know, with the head shaking and everything, hit a couple of stunners, and then get thrown out after a few minutes. You know, I think that would be the way to do it. But I'm excited to watch it, see how it goes down. But man. Enough of that. Enough of all the other madness we done talked about so far today. Let's get you guys into these interviews because we got 3 bangers coming up. First up, we'll hit you with Kamaru Usman, who had to catch a plane, but he still gave us some time today, and we appreciate that. And then, of course, Judo of Thunder himself. And then finally, the one that you guys don't want to miss. You don't want to miss any of them. But if you're listening, definitely stay tuned for the Derrick Lewis interview because the dude is hilarious and he's feeling really good about what's coming up for him here in UFC Austin in a couple of weeks. So check it out.
Remember, ball, you get the call. People are starting to get that call.
I'm gonna make a graphic. You ball, you get the call. Just splash it across the screen. But yeah, guys. Obviously, social media stuff, guys. Hit us up on the social media. If you're watching on YouTube, all the info is right there on the screen for you guys in beautiful bold text. Follow Kendrick on Twitter at Kendrick Johnso, me at Mr. Imwell's Art. Follow the show at Slip and Dip Podcast. Find us on Spreaker, find us on YouTube, find us on iTunes, and now dun, 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 on SoundCloud. Ooh.
What about Spotify?
Spotify is a whole different animal. whole different animal. I'm looking at it, but we are now, as of episode 39, going to be on SoundCloud. I think what we're going to do on SoundCloud is just do like some highlight excerpts, because they have like strict time limits and stuff. But if we can get a sponsor to upgrade our account, just saying, we are looking for sponsors of the show. Won't turn down any offers. But yeah, that's it. Coming to you on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and enjoy the interviews. Kendrick, you got anything else before we get into these?
Enjoy, man. It's podcast greatness coming at you.
Boom, Slipping the Podcast, episode 39. 3 guests. Enjoy.
Sticking with our new theme of Ballin and getting the call. Here's a guy that was Ballin, one of the most feared 170-pounders in the world, joining the show for the second time. Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman. Kamaru, thanks for joining the show. How's it feel to get that big win and start getting people's attention slowly but surely?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Every time I go out there to fight, winning is something that I expect to do. So it's it doesn't feel that crazy for me. It's something that I knew I would do. The only issue is how I was going to do it. So, but yeah, it feels good. Obviously, continuing the streak always feels great.
What do you think about all the crazy backlash afterwards? What about all that? About your post-fight speech?
It doesn't really mean anything to me. I mean, it's from casuals, obviously, so that doesn't really mean much. I mean, they don't do much for me, so I just brush it off. Obviously, anyone that knows anything about fighting knows that no one goes into a fight and only gives 30% effort. No one tries only 30%. You're in a dangerous fist fight with another person that's trained. You don't go 30%. Obviously, the smart people or the people who knew about it, knows about MMA, knows that. Obviously, I came into the fight hurt. I had some major things which altered the way that I fight because, people are used to seeing me perform a certain way. So when they don't get that, of course, they're going to wonder what's going on. So I let them know, and the casuals obviously didn't understand. That's why there was that. But it is what it is. It's cleared up. We're over it. And now just waiting on the next opponent.
How close were you to pulling out of this fight?
Pretty close. I was really close to pulling out, but, I knew I could do whatever I want to the guy anyways. And plus, he was screaming and crying that he needed a top 10 opponent with just one fight in the UFC. So, I knew even at 10%, I still could have did that to him. But, I wanted to give him the opportunity to let him know that, hey, you're not quite ready for that yet, for this level yet. But which I did, which I didn't want to pull out because this was an opportunity for him to also make money and feed his family. So did I. So.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty big risk, though. I mean, don't want to risk any further injuries. I mean, what exactly was going on?
I've already disclosed that. I talked to in a few interviews already. I had a calf injury coming in, and I had my thumb injury coming in as well. So I had some pretty big things that alter the way that a fighter fights. That are big key weapons that you would need in a fight, which obviously changed the way that I had to fight the fight. But he was being reckless and over aggressive, which caused me to control him the way that I did. If he had fought a certain way, then obviously there would have been. I let my opponents dictate the fight. Mm-hmm. So if they get too aggressive, I'm gonna put you on your ass, and we'll have to figure something else out. But if they stay and try to to figure things out and try to be technical in there, then I pick them apart. So I let them decide which way they want their poison.
Do you think that the UFC will finally get you in there with a big name? It seems like either people are dodging you or they're scared to put you in the big name. Why is that? Why are they trying to hold you back, man?
I think I think it's time. I mean, everyone knows now that, you know, the level that I'm on, and everyone expects certain things from them now. So I think it's up to them to make that decision, but it's clearly not my fault why I'm not fighting those big guys, those big names. I've asked for them. I've earned them. You know, now it's up for the UFC to deliver what the fans want to see.
And you said you let the opponent dictate the fight. How come more people don't adjust your style? Like, basically, you doing what you have to do to get your hand raised, which is what I'm all about. Like we said, you ball, you get the call. That's why you get the call now, because you've been balling. Why don't people do that? Why does it seem like people always want to entertain the fans and stuff, still looking like, hey, I win this fight, they don't have to come see me sooner or later? Like your mentality. Like, it's very rare.
No, I mean, you know, it's not that I don't. I definitely want to entertain the fans as well, but and it's not that guys aren't trying to do that. Some guys are, but some guys just realize. Some guys know their deficiencies. They know where they're weak and where they're strong. And then some guys, sometimes they know they're outmatched, and so they feel like, oh well, I know I'm going to lose the fight anyway, so let's just be entertaining. Let's just go in and be in a bar fight and things like that. You know, I wasn't like that. I was classically trained from the start to finish. I learned the fundamentals of everything. So I can beat anybody with just the fundamentals. So for me, it's not, oh, well, I'm just out here trying. This is all I've got. I got to be exciting. I got to be this. It's not just that for me. I want to prove that I am the best at this sport. That's my goal. And to prove that you're the best, you have to win. You know, you can go out there and be the most exciting fight, but you get knocked out or you lose the fight. That doesn't mean anything. You being exciting doesn't mean much. You lose 3 or 4 in a row, you get the X.
Right.
Yeah, that's true, man. So, I mean, go back to, you know, the names and the top opponents, like Kendrick kind of mentioned. You're very vocal about, you know, one Colby Covington. So has there been any headway on that matchup, potentially?
You know, I've asked for him. We've asked for him several times. They've offered him the fight 3 different occasions. He's turned them all down. So, you know, he's not a guy who's going to volunteer to fight me. So I just have to put him in a situation to where he has no choice. And so, which means I just gotta, whoever else it is that I need to beat up, I just have to continue to beat him up until I get myself into that top 3, top 4, to where he has no choice but to fight me.
What do you make of him as a fighter? I mean, you know, he's obviously got the wrestling skills there, but, you know, there's a lot of people that are out there that are, you know, kind of dismissing him. Do you really think he's, you know, deserving of the rank that he has right now?
I mean, he beat Damian Maia, so, I mean, that's no easy task. Damian Maia is a guy that kind of ran through the division, and so, you know, he beat Damian Maia. That's literally the only guy that he beat, but he did do it. And so Damian Maia just fought for the title. He was #1 contender, so, yeah, I think that puts him up there. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. The one thing about myself that I will always be true to is that I'm a realist. I'm not a hater. I'm no hater on anybody. I'm a realist. He beat Damian Maia, so Damian Maia was #2 or #3, so yeah, he put himself there. But do I think I'm better? Yes, absolutely. I'm better in every way, shape, form, and fashion. You know, you see what he's good at. He can grind, and he's a wrestler. Who's better than that? Me. Grind harder. I grind harder. I can wrestle better, and I hit way harder, as you can see. You know, he's never knocked anyone out standing. I made a guy do a front flip standing. So it is what it is. It's just I have to just be patient and wait for my turn to get up there and eventually shut him up for good.
When you look at this, of course, your ultimate goal is to get that belt. You ever size up what Tyron's got going on? Because, like, he acknowledges, but he kind of is very dismissive of anybody that's not a quote-unquote money fight. That's something like a guy like you, like, no, eventually he knows he's going to have to see you, so it doesn't matter what he says?
No, I mean, me and Tyron are cool. We understand the situation. We understand this is a business, and we understand that this is mixed martial arts. So we have respect for each other, and we also know that it's a business. Tyron is, he's a guy that has fought the number one contenders back to back. And if you look at anybody else that's so-called been champion that long or have been, doing things like that, they get an opportunity to get that big payday, that big money fight. And the thing with Tyron is no spring chicken. He's not a young dude like us, although I think he's still relatively young. He wants that big payday as opposed to what his contract says he's going to make fighting killers like us. So he's like, well, if I can fight a guy that's not a killer like these young, hungry lions, then I'm going to do that and make the money before I get out of here. So I respect him. That's his approach. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'm just waiting for my turn. I'm out here. I'm putting in work, and when my lane opens up, I'm jumping right in.
And just with everything that's happened, how big a deal is to be in that top 5 by the end of 2018? The fact that you got the momentum building and you're probably going to fight about 2 more times. How big is that? If you don't get a title shot, is that a goal of yours to be in the top 5 by the end of the year?
My goal is to have that belt by the end of the year or fight for that belt by the end of the year. And so, it is what it is. Whoever I need to beat up to do it, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not here to just be here to compete and be in the rankings. I don't really give a shit about the rankings. If the people are deciding that these are the guys that are ranked ahead of me, then those are the guys that I need to beat up in order for me to get that title shot. So that's what it is. But by 2008, end of the year, I want to have that belt or fight or be in position to fight for that belt.
So we've seen a lot of your friends, training partners, get in the ring, get in the octagon recently. Give me your thoughts on Francis and what he has to do, from going forward.
Francis laid it out in his post-fight press conference. He basically let the world know that this was a valuable lesson that he needed to learn. It was the last piece of the puzzle that he needed to put together to be unstoppable. And I absolutely agree with that. He hadn't fought longer than 10 minutes. Not even, each and every one of the fight has ended literally in a couple of minutes into the first round. So, he needed to know if he can go 5 rounds. He did go 5 rounds. He needed to know. We needed to see if somebody could hit him, if he could take a punch. We saw that. We needed to see if he could deal with the grind. He did that. And we needed to see if he needed to work on anything, his ground game or his wrestling, and we saw that. And so he said in the post-fight, he said that was the last piece of the puzzle. He needed to answer all those questions to become unstoppable, and I think he realizes that now he's going to go back to the drawing board and he's going to come back with the vengeance.
Yeah, I think it was pretty refreshing to see, how open and honest he was about, everything that he learned. And there were some people that I were reading that were saying that, it didn't seem like he was, that type of person to be as open and accepting about what actually happened in the cage. And then to see him in that post-fight interview, he's so open and honest about it all. But is that the type of guy that has he always been that way, to be like that guy that's just absorbing everything in training and, around in his surroundings?
Yeah, we're realists. Like, that's the one thing that I can say about all my African brothers that are in the UFC right now. Realists. We're real with ourselves. We know our abilities, and we know where whatever we need to work on, we're going to work on. And being a realist means doing things, even when doing the right things, even when people aren't around, fans aren't around, coaches aren't around. Francis now knows that he needs to work on his ground game. Boom, he's going to work on that. I have no doubt in my mind he's going to work on that. I knew that I needed to work on my striking, and I worked on that. My last 3 fights before this last fight, I stood with dangerous strikers, even more dangerous than the guy I just fought. I stood with all of them, and I beat them all up. And so it is what it is. We're real with ourselves, and we're open and honest with ourselves. And that's Francis has always been there.
Let me ask you about your man, Judo Thunder. You tweeted out, "I felt that all the way back from Ghana." Hashtag African Power. Incredible knockout.
Yeah.
One of the best knockouts so far this year.
Yeah. It was incredible. I mean, he put the work in. That's what I mean. He put the work in. He learned from some of the mistakes he made in the first fight. He put the work in. He corrected the mistakes, came back, and you saw the results.
Yeah, we're going to have him here on the show here in a few minutes. And we talked to him before that fight, and he was just, he said he was a little bit frustrated to have to go in there and prepare for the same guy again. I mean, I guess that's part of the game. If they give you a name, you got to go in there and take it. It's kind of like, I guess, do you feel that kind of same frustration when you're not getting those names that you want?
Yeah, but, you kind of got to pick your battles. I think I'm in a position now to where I can be a little more selective with some of the decisions that I make. And with him, I think he was in that situation to where it wasn't a definitive ending. Right. So that's why they requested that to run it back one more time, in which I believe was a good choice. I mean, look, the first one he got the win bonus, but they wanted him to run it back. He ran it back again, got the win bonus, and another bonus on top of it. So it was a win-win-win-win for him.
Yep. And final question, I know we trying to get out of here. Do you think that people are going to start realizing that, like, as you know, MMA starting to a universal game, that y'all guys on the other side of the pond got some power and that y'all are forced to be reckoned with? You, Francis, Judo Thunder.
Yeah, I think people realize that. People know that. People know that. Obviously that I have some power in my hands. I mean, they should. Obviously, they realize that. They know that, I can wrestle better than anybody there. So it's for me, you just kind of, I'm yet to see someone really work on an approach and find a way to fight someone like me, because you can't get too aggressive because I'm going to take you down and beat you up. You can't sit back and let me just strike away because I'm going to pick you apart. And, so it is what it is. People are going to eventually try to figure it out. But, a lot of us, you can see all the Africans, there's a lot of power and there's a lot of ill will in those punches when we start throwing in that case.
All those fight enders, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, man, I appreciate we appreciate you coming on, man. I know you got to catch a plane here in a few minutes, so have a safe trip, man, and thanks for coming on the show for the second time.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you guys for having me.
I appreciate your time, brother. You know we keep hitting you up because you keep balling. You ball, you get the call.
All right, thank you.
Keeping the momentum rolling. When you balling, getting the call, somebody who definitely balled 2 weeks ago has already got the early candidate for knockout of the year, Mr. Judo Thunder himself. Man, it seems like your celebrity hasn't went up because of that, man. I've seen that picture everywhere, and you got people drawing you sketches and sending you like photos from different angles. How many different angles do you got of that knockout of you just like crumped up and your boy just sleeping?
I got so many, especially on Instagram, but I just haven't, there's too many messages, so it's hard to try and go through all of them. But, you get a lot of the same videos and the same kind of pictures, people sending it to you back and forth. No, Razak, on my call, okay?
We started a new segment, like we told you when you came on 2 weeks ago, you ball, you get the call. How's it feel to ball on such a high level and get your name even higher? Like now people want to know when you'll get back in the cage.
It feels good. I want to get back in there as soon as possible if I can, because there wasn't any injury. And the fight didn't go too long, so I really want to get back in there as soon as possible. I'm thinking of April. If I can fight, I'll get Razak. That is busy right now, okay? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. You got the little one visiting? Jumping in on the interview?
Yeah, sorry. The little guy.
Little Thunder wants some of the action.
Right? he's trying to get some mic time, too. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't any injury. And also, right after the fight, my coaches were already talking about it. So we're thinking if I get something April or even sooner, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, nice, man, nice. So, you told us on the last interview, right before the fight, that you were a little frustrated to have to go through this whole process again for the same guy. And as soon as you landed that punch and you saw that he was sleeping, you just let out like this yell. Was that all that frustration just coming out? That like I didn't need to do this again?
Yes, I think yes. I was holding in a lot, and also before the weigh-in, he started talking trash. Yeah, to me at the weigh-in. So right when he started saying that, it pissed me off. I think he was trying to get under my skin, but for me, what he was started saying, it started pissing me off more. So it made me really mad. So right after the fight, when I punched him and he fell down, I just started yelling at him, because I was really pissed off from him talking trash. Because of you, I didn't get to eat my mom's food and stuff like that, and you here talking trash at me, telling me not to feed on you, and you're on the ground right now with, your chin all broken. So I was pissed off.
What makes you think like, for instance, we know you have a strategy. Does it trip you out the fact that people challenge you to your strength and they haven't learned that once you touch that chin, they're going to sleep? I know you don't got the reputation of a Francis, but you got the track record of a Francis. When they don't get the message?
Oh my, I don't know. I think people, a lot of people think, I'm like just a brawler or somebody who just looking for like shots and stuff like that. And I'm not that type of fighter. I'm mostly of a type of guy who I'm always angry when I'm in there. It's like I'm the kind of person like, hit me, let me hit you so we can go. I'm always on the, like, I just go 110%. I just keep throwing. But this fight, I never watch fight. But this guy, I watched him after the first one. I watched our fight and stuff like that. And when I watch him, I'm like, there's nothing this guy has over me. I can beat this guy easy. And I'm not the kind of person that also wants to be overconfident or something like that, or be cocky. That's why I don't like watching a lot of videos, because when you watch a lot of videos, you might think, oh, I'm better than this guy. I can beat him. And then you let your guard down and then something else happens. So I want to go in there knowing no matter what he has, I don't care. I'll do what I have to do to win the fight. But I keep watching these guys. I keep watching our fights, and there was nothing that this guy, I feel like he has that I cannot take. But I think they told him to not brawl with me. I think they told him that, though. You can hear his corner screaming at him while we're fighting, not to brawl with me. Mm-hmm. You see, you can hear them say it in the back. But I guess he got into the brawling part, and he just wanted to throw. So I just started throwing too.
Yeah, we had Dean Thomas on our last episode, and he works with Saba, and he talked about, you're on the subject of being entertaining for the fans and going out there and doing something you probably shouldn't be doing, and he kind of admitted that that's what happened with him. He wanted to be entertaining, he wanted to get in that brawl, but at the end of the day, he's going home with a broken jaw and probably doesn't have a way to fight or make money while he's healing up from suffering a broken jaw. So it's just one of those things where you got to find that balance, I think.
Yeah.
Is it worth the cheers in that moment versus not being able to fight again?
Yes. And also with him, I think he only thought I had overhand right, because I guess he see Kamaru a lot in Florida, so he talks all trash. Seeing he doesn't have anything. He only throws overhand right. So for him, I think them preparing for me, they only really prepared for only an overhand right. So if you watch the fight closely, when I threw the first right hand, and then he went back, when I was about to throw, you can see him do this and then lean to try and block my overhand right. Yeah. So that's why he didn't see the uppercut coming. And it was something that Steve and I worked on a lot, to try and beat him into it, go to the top, and then the second one go underneath it.
Nice.
With that dominant ass division that y'all got a lot of head busters. Other than fighting your buddy Kamaru, who do you want?
In that, I don't know. I never call out anybody, and I don't want to be the type that talk trash and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter who they give me. I'll fight anybody. That's for sure. Anybody they give me, I'll fight anybody. Besides, my brother Kamaru. That's something that we're not going to do with it to each other. Unless you give both of us a title fight and give us a lot of money and tell us to throw in, that's different. But besides that, I'm never going to fight my brother.
My co-host here, he got some mic advice.
I mean, no, man. My thing is, I always say this about fighters. I get that you guys want to be respectful and not have a sort of like disrespectful call out to people, but I believe there's a way you can call out guys and still be respectful about it, because at the end of the day you're trying to climb that ladder, you're trying to get to the top. So I mean, in order to generate some fan interest, you can respectfully call out somebody that's ranked ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the way to go about it, because I think, and from what I've seen, just following the sport for the past 4 or 5 years, it seems like the guys that will at least throw a name out there are more likely to get something in that range, whether it's not that same guy. You know what I mean? And versus the guys that are just like, I don't want to call anybody out. Well, then it seems like those guys kind of get a little bit slower progression, if you get what I'm saying.
For me, I see stuff like this. I'm not in a hurry. If God said it's my time, you can never deny me that. I'll definitely get that. It doesn't matter who has the belt at that time. If it's my time, I'm going to get that belt. I have people that I've admired. I've watched them for so long that I want to fight. If I get the chance, if they ask me, who do you want to fight? I'll fight them right away. Somebody like Thiago Alves, like I told you last time. Somebody like Carlos Condit, or even, what's his name? Cowboy, you see. Yeah. I love the way they fight, and it's something that I would love to test my abilities against theirs, like someone like Carlos Condit. I like the way he fights. The guy's unpredictable. He's just like Cowboy. There are some people that if I get the chance to fight them, I will take the fight to them right away. If they ask me, hey, who do you want? I'll definitely call out those 3 people. And I'm not gonna lie. This last fight that is coming, Carlos Condit and Yancy, dude. If anybody get injured in there and they want me to fight, I will fight any of them. I don't care.
Hey, I'll be out there for that. Well, that's just in a couple of weeks here for that Austin card. Yancy's fighting, so you'd be willing to fill in for that if somebody gets hurt.
Oh yeah, if somebody get hurt and they call me, I'm down for that.
I'll be down for that. I'll be at that Austin card. So
yeah,
I'm not saying I hope somebody gets injured, but
yeah, I'll be there too. So.
Yeah, nice, for sure. My thing is, I think if you're not calling somebody out, I think you better be going out there and knocking people out like you are. So you definitely got that side of it working for you.
Doing that, I'll keep doing my best to try and get people out of there.
For sure.
Judo, can you tell people to hang up our segment? Let them know, hey, when you ball, you get this call.
For sure. I'm not gonna lie. I almost talked to Francis about you guys, but I was waiting till after the fight so we can get to sit down and talk. And the fight didn't go the way.
Yeah.
We thought it was go, and then I didn't want to bother him. The coach and everybody was really sad, so I didn't want to. And I know how it is as a fighter. If something like this happened, I just want everybody to leave me alone. So
yeah, what'd you make about Francis's fight, man? I mean, obviously it's pretty. Wasn't the performance that he was hoping to put on, but what'd you take away from it?
Man, cardio. We underestimate cardio a lot, and cardio. If you have the best cardio, it doesn't matter how long the fight goes. You always be ready for it. And I feel like cardio and then wrestling played a lot in this fight. He's Miyosek. I got to give him that. The guy is slick. He would do anything to win the fight. So his head movement was good. Trying to get out of the power shots and stuff like that. He did what he had to do to win the fight. But hopefully, I know Francis is going to work on his mistake is wrestling and his cardio much better. So that way he can step back in there with him soon. I hope.
So what do you think about, like, in the pre-fight, they show all of these videos of Francis running on the treadmill, hitting the pad, like doing all these crazy workouts where it looks like they're hyping him up to make him look like he's just this beast when it comes to cardio and training and everything. And then fight night, we see a completely different guy. So how much of that is him actually doing that work versus the nerves and everything that comes to play when you're actually in the cage?
That's one thing people do not realize. You know, I can tell you can run 10 miles a day, right? The cardio that you get from that running is different from the cardio you're going to get when you step in the ring.
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing. People do not realize a lot of MMA cardio, I'm telling you, I think 80% will come from wrestling. If you wrestle a lot, you have that cardio, you have the MMA cardio. People think when you run a lot and all this kind of stuff, it helps. But when it comes to MMA cardio, it's a whole different thing. Wrestling is something that's going to help you with the MMA cardio. And even though I know he put in a lot of work on the other side, I'm sure he didn't put in a lot of work when it comes to the wrestling part. So when the wrestling, you know, somebody on top of you, grinding you, I've actually experienced that, especially when I used to train with Johnny, you know, because I'm always a stand-up guy. Even though I have my judo background, I'm always a stand-up guy. And every time I'm training with Johnny, I always try to take his head off, you know, and when you get heated up, Johnny will take you down and just grind you on the ground and then just keep hitting you. And that takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot out of you. I'm not going to lie. It's just like the way Kamaru fights. When that guy grabs you and puts you on the ground, that takes a lot of energy out of you. So when he was taking him on the ground and was holding him on the cage, I knew that was taking a lot of energy out of Francis, you know. So it wasn't all the treadmill cardio and stuff like that. That doesn't do much. When somebody's on top of you, hitting you, you down and stuff like that, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a completely different beast, and I think a lot of people will start to realize that. I mean, it's more casual fans than anything that don't understand that, but it's truly a different thing, man. And I remember, like, when I was training, like, my first jiu-jitsu competition, like, you know, we're training hours and hours, right? Rolling, doing jiu-jitsu, doing wrestling. And I remember my first jiu-jitsu match, man, like, I won it, but I remember afterwards, I was like, oh my God, like I thought I just ran like 10 miles like sprinting, you know? And I'm like, this was just 5 minutes. And you know, I ended up winning. But it's just like people don't realize the difference when you're actually like you're expected to do everything perfect in that moment under that pressure. It literally zaps so much of your cardio.
And I haven't tell anybody this. You guys will be the first person besides my coach that I'm going to tell this. My first fight in the UFC, I took the fight on short notice, right? Mm-hmm. And before that, I was training, but, you know, I was training regular training. It wasn't like I was getting shipped for a fight. So when I got the call for the short notice, the 2 weeks notice fight, I put in as much cardio as I can. You know, I did as much as I can, and I was like, okay, it's good. You guys realize the fight finished in like a minute, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if that guy, I hadn't knocked that guy out, or that punch, he got out from that punch, that was it. That was all the cardio I had. That was all the cardio I had at that time. And the nerves of everything that was raining down on me, right after that fight, I could barely walk. Damn. My legs shaking. Everything, like all the energy came out of me. I feel like I could buckle. If my leg hit something, I would just buckle and fall down right after the fight. And people do not realize that, especially that nerves. When that nerves go to you, it takes all your cardio away. You forget about everything you worked on. It was horrible. If that guy got up from that punch,
So the rest of the people in your division should know now you got some cardio. It's gonna take more than that to get you out of there.
Oh hell no, yeah, right. Because one now, especially knowing the experience of how the nerves gets to you too at that time, you know, I realized that the more you fight, the more you get comfortable in the ring. You know, you can see the difference of how you used to be and how you are now. You're able to control your breathing. You know, you're able to calm down. Especially my last fight, I realized I was different in so many ways than I used to be. And that nerves, it doesn't matter though. You still get that nerves a little bit, but when right when they shut the door, sometimes they're like, okay, we're here now. One of us gotta go. But you get to learn from that first fight. I learned so much from that first fight. I'm like, I don't want something like this to ever happen again. So yeah, so that's when I was like, but I really thank God that actually happened, because if that hadn't happened, I would have been like, oh, I gotta work on this, or I have to do something like this to help me calm down, or do this and do this before I fight or something like that. Yeah, that first fight was horrible.
Go ahead. And before we get you out of here, we know you in a hurry. What's your goal for 2018, and how's it feel the fact that you looked at as a mainstream fighter now for that one hit quitter that you threw 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was amazing. You put in a lot of work for. I know, but one thing I realized, MMA wasn't part of my dreams that I wanted to be in MMA, but it's something that happened, and then I ended up falling in love with it. And knowing that I'm having a lot of this success from it, and especially this happened, it makes me happy. And I'm really praying and hoping, by the end of this 2018, I should be up there with everybody else, hoping to, get a title shot soon. That's the goal. That's the dream. Because when you get into something, you don't want to half-ass it. You want to be able to do it and finish and know that I was one of the best, all the best of what I did. So that's the goal. Just got to keep praying and training hard. So God will open the way.
Yeah, man. I think you're on the right track. Keep going out there and knocking heads off like that. You'll get there pretty quick.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
It's all the African labor that I was doing back home, I guess. I guess all that labor paid off, man, I guess.
Hey, that's what Kamaru was just talking about. We had
I got one more question, Judo. When we had Dean on, he was telling us, how old is Francis, and how many years older is he in African years?
That I did not know.
Boy, oh my God.
That I did not know. That's crazy.
So you knew what I was talking about, though, right?
Yeah, the African age and I know what you're talking about.
Oh my God.
I do not know.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yeah. It's an African thing sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, man. You get up here younger than what you really are sometimes. But yeah, man.
During that fight, because the way he stood in the middle of the ring, I think the round 3 or round 4, and he wasn't moving. I really thought he was injured. Yeah.
Really?
I really thought he was injured, but then I realized no, that cardio is gone. It's in the heavyweight too. So it's a whole different cardio for the heavyweight. Besides Kim Velasquez, I haven't seen anybody have a good cardio in the heavyweight.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, hey, Judo Thunder, my man, I appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate you having on a second time.
Man. When you get that next call, you got to go to the call so we can get you back on, man.
I got you. Anytime.
No doubt, man. Thanks for coming on the show for the second time, before and after the big win. And we'll have you on again here pretty soon.
And let these people know what happens when you ball, you get that call.
For sure, I'll let them know. And, it's a good thing. I think talking to you guys was also a good luck. I got it. So next time, I'm going to talk to you guys before I fight again.
Hey, there we go. We'll take it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, man. Have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, you too.
And coming to you once again with another superstar guest on the Slip and Dip podcast. The Black Beast himself, Mr. Derrick Lewis, coming to us live from Houston, Texas. Derrick, man, you getting ready for a big fight coming up here in Austin. How's your preparation been going so far for this fight?
Yeah, the preparation and everything been going real good. My health is good right now. My conditioning, everything is good. But I'm just getting over a cold for right now. But I'm feeling good, feeling ready.
Yeah, cold's going around everywhere, man. It's got everybody sick up here in Dallas too. But you said, how's the back feeling? I know the back has been a lot of concern for a lot of people, a lot of your fans, man. So the back's good this time around?
My back is I say it's 95% right now. It's about 95. You know, we still doing treatment on it just about every day.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So no setbacks, nothing holding you back in training. You're able to go to the gym every day, knock out full sessions, nothing going wrong.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's a must win for myself. You know, the opportunity is still there. You know, the division is still wide open. You know, I believe I'm still a couple of fights away, maybe even one fight away from the title. You know, just a impressive win over this guy, then probably one more fight after that, then I'll be fighting for the title soon.
Here's a two-part question for me, Derrick. One, what you learned from the Stipe Francis fight about Stipe, and what's your beef with Francis? It seems like y'all about that life, like y'all would fight it in Third Ward if you had to.
Yeah, I'll fight him on site. You know, this guy over here, like I every now and then I say something nice to him, and you know, somebody asks me a question about him, I say something nice, you know, but every time somebody says something about him, he always like trying to talk down on me, saying I'm not really on his level, talking about I'm too slow and this and that, you know, but you know, I really don't care, but don't just try to talk shit about me every chance you get, you know. But he talks shit, but he don't ever go ahead and, oh yeah, I want to fight Derrick. But he always say he always talking down on me though, but he don't want to fight me.
I mean, I saw the quick reaction. I mean, you know, you're a king on social media. As soon as the fight was over, you know, you had that little selfie video on the treadmill.
Yeah, I'm working on my cardio shit. He needs to get behind me. But yeah. Because everybody talking about that I don't have no cardio and this and that, but they don't know that I do have cardio. You know, I just wait, I just hold it in, I just make it seem like I don't. The way I move, I just move slow and then I explode. But you know, it is what it is.
What you learned about that fight more from Stipe? It's gonna take a bad man to beat him. How you gonna be that bad man to get the job done? Because he's going into all-time great status.
Yeah, I believe he's right there. They say he already in all-time great status right now. But I believe my fighting style and his fighting style it'll be a bad matchup for him, especially if he's just trying to lay and pray the whole fight, you know. And that's when I really get all my rest. Whenever a guy is trying to hold me down, that's whenever I really just try to save all my energy really and explode whenever I can.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see any holes in his game? Because that's one of the most technical fights I've seen in a heavyweight fight.
I didn't watch the fight. I just seen the highlights of it because I didn't want to give Francis none of my money. And the only reason why I watched the highlight fight, one of my friends FaceTimed me, and that's the only reason why I watched the highlights of it. He FaceTimed me while he was watching the TV. I
mean, what highlights could he have sent you, though? I mean, it was pretty much...
It was after the fight, I guess, the post-fight.
Yeah.
That's when, he sent me the video where he FaceTimed me and let me watch it.
Yeah, man, I think the question is that we've seen from a lot of people, you know, in the pre-fight, they showed all these video clips of Francis doing all the workouts, hitting the treadmills, doing all these crazy... you know, things that made him seem like, that built him up to be like this super in shape freak athlete type of human, and then we see him on fight night and it's like, I guess he gets zapped. I don't know if it was the moment or whatever, but it just seemed like he has zero cardio after that first round. So I mean, how much of that, you know, as a fighter being in there, how much does that pressure actually weigh on you guys?
I don't know. I guess it's a different type of feeling, you know, fighting for the title. You know, it's more pressure, I guess, being on yourself, you knowing that you're going in there fighting for the title, going in there trying to be the #1 guy. And I guess all the pressure, all the build-up, everything, trying to live up to the expectation of everybody saying that you this and that. And so I guess that weighs on you as well, you know. So I don't know. He's not American, so I don't know how he thinks. You know, he's a different type of black guy. He ain't an American black guy, so he really haven't been through nothing.
The The magic question we got for you, Derrick. We asked a couple people. How old do you think he really is? You know how they got them African years.
That motherfucker at least 40. Tell you, man, them Africans. He don't even know. They say he was homeless, so he probably don't know. Tell him where his birth certificate. He's 40, man. Juiced up.
That's the conspiracy theory we started here on the Slip and Dip podcast a couple episodes ago. We're trying to figure that out. We're trying to get to the bottom of it.
They
say he's younger than me. That boy ain't younger than me. Make me want to shave my beard and everything.
Oh man, yeah. So that's some good stuff right there, boy. That's some good stuff. I tell you what, man. So if I could bring it back a little bit more to a more serious topic, one of my favorite moments from the past year, man, was seeing all the work that you did down there in Houston surrounding the hurricane and the hurricane relief. I mean, looking back on it, man, like, how much love are you still getting from that from around the people in Houston?
People still saying, they still saying that I should have got some more recognition from it. You know, I really don't give a damn about the recognition. I don't care. No, I was just doing it out of the kindness of my heart. I didn't want no money, no praise or anything from it, you know. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't care. I'm not worried about that.
There's a trip you had the fact that people talk about J.J. Watt, but J.J. Watt was out there, you like on the front line in the water, literally pulling people out. And now they talk about J.J. Watt, J.J. Watt.
Yeah, I know. J.J. Watt really ain't do nothing but raise the money, I guess, because of his name. Because J.J. Watt was injured. He wasn't out there in the water or anything like that helping people. You know, he was just behind the computer screen, just, I guess, just talking. You know, he really wasn't out there in the front line. So,
yeah, I mean, it still was a pretty refreshing thing to see. You know, two of the top athletes from the city getting out there. You know, in different ways, obviously, but I think people appreciated more what you did in a different way because you're literally out there pulling people out of the water, regardless of what items they may be trying to keep with them. Like that story about the one guy that had the Confederate flag, and you were like, I mean, I don't care about that. Get in the car. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, my wife, she really didn't want me to do too much either. She wanted me to stay home. And to me, it made me feel good, you know, just going out there and helping whoever I can.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's important, man. I mean, I think in that moment, it's a moment to put all the societal issues aside, realize you got people literally dying out here. Like, what can I do? And I think to see you do that in that moment was really, really cool, man. Really cool.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
So when we're going to see some more black beats on the national stage, we know we're very appreciative you coming on with us because you don't do many interviews. Why is that, man? You're a funny guy. You knocking people out. People are interested in what you got to say and do.
I'm not a people's person, man. I don't really talk to people that much. You know, especially people I don't know. You know, I'm really to myself. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I introduced myself to you at the Bellator event in Houston after the fights. Kimbo and Dada when they fought. I don't know if you remember that, but it was right after the fights. And you know, you were just kind of standing there being quiet, but people were coming up to you. You were, you know, shaking hands, taking pictures, still being you know, a cool dude, like kind of just chilling off to the side. But you know, you say you're not a people person, but from what I saw, it seems like you're a people person. You're just kind of like more introverted. Is that a good call on it?
I guess I'm real short with people I don't know. You know, I don't really hold a conversation with them. Real short with them. You put it that way.
Yeah.
Is this your picture right here on the screen?
Yeah, that should be my picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really remember your face. You know, all y'all black folks look alike, so I don't know, man.
Hey, man, it's all good.
Come on, D. You know it's only a handful of stuff that be at the fights.
Yeah, that's
you remember us on one hand.
Nah, I don't remember. If you're a woman, then yeah, I could probably remember you, but nah, I don't know.
I mean, you're probably not too interested in what journalists got to say, anyways, right?
Yeah. There's one guy in Vegas. He tried to ask me a question about Donald Trump. And I said, man, I don't want to answer no question about Donald Trump. He said, come on, man, just say something, anything. So I just said, man, that Donald Trump just needed to keep his mouth shut about stuff they don't know what he's talking about. Then the next day, the headline, Derrick Lewis said Donald Trump needed to shut his mouth. He didn't even finish the sentence while I had told him. He just tried to start up some stuff.
Of course, you're trying to get those clicks, trying to get something to run with. I mean, if this was any other show, I guarantee you somebody would have wrote an article right off of that, what you just said right there. But we're not going to do that.
So when you get that win in a couple weeks, are you gonna come back on? Because we started this segment, you ball, you get the call. Like we already had we gonna have Kamaru and we're gonna have Juju Thunder on because they've been balling. So you gonna keep that thing going and let's give you another call till you get you another knockout victory.
Yeah, that's cool. I get on. But y'all gotta get Skype on the other end too, man. It feel awkward just talking to
well, I promise we'll get that fixed up for next time. We'll get a third webcam in here, and we'll get it straight. Because I guarantee you, we are fully clothed over here.
I don't know. Oh boy, Kendrick, his mouth sound real watery right now. I don't know if you're drinking water or what. I don't know. Can't see.
I'm drinking a Slurpee.
See, he's slurping.
Man, who else do you know? That's fighting on the card? I mean, obviously Sage is competing on the same card with you out there in Austin. Anybody else? Any other training partners? Anybody else that you've been working with that's fighting that night too?
I used to train with Diego Ferreira, or something like that.
Yeah.
I just trained with him back in the Silverback days, probably like about 6-7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first guy that ever put me in the home bar. Like
first and last guy, huh?
Yeah, first and last guy. That's the only time I ever been tapped out at the gym. Been tapped out, period, is like by him. You know, my coach just told me to go ahead and roll with this little guy. He was like probably like 160, 150, something like that. And I'm rolling real light with him, and he catch me in the home bar real quick. Then they tell me, oh yeah, he's a black belt. I didn't even know he was a black belt. Just thought he was just some little guy. I just want to try out the gym.
So you're saying they pulled a quick one on you, huh?
Yeah. Now I said, hell, now we gotta go again. They didn't want to roll. Nah.
So tell me about your opponent, man. I haven't seen you say anything about your opponent, Marcin Tybura. You been watching film on him? You know, what's the game plan?
What's the game plan? Like I'm gonna tell you. The game
I mean, I don't expect you to tell me the game plan. I'm just saying, you know.
See, then I can't even see y'all. He might be sitting right next to you. I don't even know that.
Trust me, we have no Polish heavyweights in the room with us right
now. This is the guy I was supposed to fight in the Philippines, but they canceled the whole card before. So I've been really studying him for a while now. You know, since he moved to Great Jackson, he changed his game up a little bit. You know, now he's doing a lot of the little bleed kicks, they call it, like the kicks to the knees.
Yeah, that Jackson Wink special.
Yeah, that's the only thing I see different in his game now that he picked up.
Okay, so you're still expecting to go out there and be able to. I see you got the tweet pinned up there on your Twitter right now. This new fast-paced Black Beast going at it.
Yeah, we've always been trying to work on my speed and my conditioning and stuff like that. You know, I've been trying for the longest try to fight like I train. You know, that's the hardest part, trying to fight like you train. And I've been trying to put everything together. And, like, hopefully we finally got the recipe to put it all together. So we'll see whenever fight time come around.
Cool. So I see on your social media, man, obviously, are you the one that's going out there and finding all these memes and making the memes? Or somebody sending this stuff to you?
Everybody keep asking me that.
I mean, I feel like we never get a clear answer.
I find the memes, you know. I find whatever I think is funny, you know. Some of them my friends send to me, but most of them I'll go ahead and find stuff, and if I think it's funny, I'll post it. You know, because I do have a sense of humor, just a little bit. You know, I go ahead and post whatever I think is funny because it's hard to make me laugh. So if I find something that make me laugh, then I'm gonna go ahead and post it.
I see you backing off the Ronda memes. You done messing with Ronda now?
Oh, my wife don't like that at all. she every time somebody make that comment on any of my posts, she said block their ass and delete that comment. I'm like, man, your ass over there liking all the damn Tupac pictures and videos and all that, and I can't even like and say anything about Ronda. So we were going at it back and forth, me and her.
God damn. This stuff, man. I'll tell you, boy, you had me rolling when I scroll through your Twitter, man. This stuff pops up. This stuff is hilarious, boy.
Since we all brothers and we in the state, can we come see you down there in Houston in the near future?
Where
at the gym?
Yeah, anytime. You come to Houston Muay Thai. That's where I'm really training at right now. Luce Reed's gym. I don't know if you know him or not. He's a boxer. He fought Mike Tyson, Holyfield, George Foreman. He fought all those guys before.
Crazy. That's crazy to have all those names on your resume like that.
Yeah. He beat Buster Douglas. I believe he beat him for the title.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, man. I will be out there at the fights in Austin. So I'll be out there covering. Hopefully, you'll remember my face after this week.
Yeah, I got you.
And yeah, man. Next time we'll have you on after the show. For sure, we'll have another webcam set up so you won't have to question what's really going on this side of the camera. You know, I mean, we see you rocking the Houston Rockets hat.
Y'all sharing the same mic or what?
No, we got two mics, two cameras.
Two mics, two cameras. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll send you the link, man, after the fact, so you can see what's really going on. I mean, you may not like all this Cowboys gear we got on the wall, but I'm just saying. You know,
that explains everything right now. It's naked on the other side of his camera. Y'all Cowboy fans.
I mean, you know, I see you rocking the old school Rockets. Old school Rockets hat right now.
Nah, it's the new school too.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, man. The team is fun to watch. They're definitely much better than what we got going on in Dallas right now. So, you know.
Yeah, we just beat y'all.
Yeah.
I was at the game too. I went to the game with my dad on Wednesday. We were hanging out.
Yeah. We played tonight too. Yeah, I keep up with them.
Yeah. You think they're gonna make a run for the title this year, for the championship?
Yeah, we stay healthy. You know, we got to get rid of Tucker, man. We got to get rid of that guy. That guy, he can't shoot. He draws stupid fouls. You know, we just got to get rid of him. We don't need him. We got Green now. Green can play his spot.
Yeah, I saw because I do fantasy basketball, and a lot of people are trying to pick him up, and then the coach saying you're gonna have to cut back on his minutes for now. Like, dude was balling.
Yeah,
he was balling, so that didn't make any sense to me.
Tucker, you can't. When the last time he scored? He scored probably like 4 points in the last 2 months.
Yeah, that's never a good look.
Yeah.
That's never a good look.
2 months. He rarely even score anything in the game.
Yeah.
You gotta get rid of him. He taking away the points from Green.
Do you go to the games a lot?
No, I don't. They be asking me to go all the time, but most of the time I be too damn tired to go down there.
Yeah. I feel you.
I'm gonna go after this fight. So that's where all my energy going right now.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I mean, it's a big fight coming up, co-main event, and then after that, you think you'll be in another headlining spot?
Yeah, after this, if I could get past Tabor, I would like to fight real quick after that. Even if I believe it's Fabricio, I would like to fight him in Brazil. I told him before I wouldn't want to go to Brazil, but I gave it some thought. And if I get out this fight healthy with a win, I'm not looking past Tabor at all. Go ahead and fight Fabricio, get that rematch with him in Brazil. I believe they're going there the next month. Then hopefully I get Francis sometime this year.
Man.
And you got you a busy 2018 player, brother.
Yeah, I sat out too much. The last fight was in June and July. The year before that, I was fighting damn near every other month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'll be ready. I had my time off that I wanted.
You think that pace maybe caused the issues with the back, or was it just that lingering thing?
It's been lingering. The back been bothering me since 2011.
Yeah.
On some bullshit ass CrossFit. Personal trainer we had at the gym at the time had me doing some bullshit I never had did before. I guess that's around the time when CrossFit first came out.
Yeah, you couldn't get people to stop talking about CrossFit if they did CrossFit. I remember that.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It really is. I always thought it was dangerous. Now that we know. See a lot less people talking about it.
Yeah. The issue is right now, they say it's not spinal or no ligaments or anything like that. It's just muscle. And so they really try to tell me to keep my posture up and doing stretches and massages because my back, it knots up. I get these big knots in my back. You could push them and you can feel it like separate. That's how bad it gets.
Damn. That's crazy.
And they say my right leg is a little shorter than my left leg because how tight it gets.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard to walk.
And so do they do any kind of correctional walking stuff with you, like therapy wise?
They had me put this damn heel in the back of my shoe, so I can walk with balance, I guess. And I didn't like it.
Yeah, did you notice a difference when they did that, or was it just kind of? Did you feel like they were just trying to do too much?
I noticed a difference because they weighed my body, I guess. They weighed my foot. I forgot how they did it. Yeah, they told me to put one foot on one scale and another foot on another scale. And they weighed me like that, and my right side was a little off than my left side was. And so that's how they noticed that one of my legs was shorter than the other.
Hey, that's crazy. Medical advancements are surprising at times. Yeah, man. I think hopefully we get through this fight, get in and out of it healthy. We'll see where the Black Beast goes from there. Like I said, I'll be out there, man. I'll be out there, stage side, backstage, all the good stuff. So
Matt can be your manager, Derrick.
Nah, I'm good, man. I already got enough people in my purse.
Right?
I ain't trying to pay nobody else, man.
Nah, I'm not trying to get into management either, bro. I'll stay out of that. I'll just do the interviews and the articles from time to time.
I got the same manager John Jones got. That's the same guy.
Who, Malky?
Yeah.
So you got we on your team, man. He be dodging calls and stuff, man. Your boy Malky kind of a gangster.
yeah, he is.
So you got any inside info on John Jones?
No, I don't know yet. They saying they passed a lie detector test. That's about it. But I ask them questions about him just about all the time, and they really don't be wanting to tell me anyway because they think I'm gonna make a joke about it. But
what do you make a DC fighting Stipe now?
Yeah, it's good. It's nobody else in the heavyweight division been doing good. He deserved it.
Yeah.
The top 10 guys or what, we haven't been consistent, you know. And so I guess DC deserves it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think
besides Kane, you know, he's been hurt, but he can't just sit out like that and expect to get a title shot.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, I don't really know how healthy Kane really is as well. You know, because they said he was back in the gym and getting ready, and then all of a sudden they announced this. So I don't know what's really going on back there. But anyways, Derrick, man, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. We'll let you get back to the rest of your day. I look forward to the fight.
Thanks for showing the brothers some love.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that's good, man. Y'all gotta come up, man. Y'all gotta do the come up because you know them other people they not used to that either. You know, I show the brothers some love, but you know them on the other side they ain't gonna put up with this right here.
Yeah, what truer words are never spoken right there. Yeah. With Derrick Lewis getting ready to fight Marcin Tybura on February 18th out there in Austin, Texas at the Frank Irwin Center. Like I said, I'll be there. Derrick, of course, will be there in the co-main event.
I won't be there, Derrick. I'll be in LA at the All-Star weekend. I'll be doing my other gig.
Man, you're a sellout, man. You're supposed to come and support, man.
Yeah, right?
It's all good.
No doubt. Well, Derrick, we appreciate you coming on, man. Again, we look forward to talking to you soon. Best of luck on the 18th.
All right, thank you, man. Thanks for having me.